I'm here at South by Southwest 2014 with Dan Larsen.
Hi.
And hi, Dan. We've been talking just before we came on air. We were talking a little bit about the kind of the move towards the quantified self, right? And there are so many kind of different implications of this in terms of, you know, increasingly wherever we go, there are devices that are sort of tracking us, taking measurements. Right, exactly. But what's fascinating to me is there's some really unexpected and exciting things happening. And you were just telling us that you're about to go wakeboarding. So tell us the wakeboarding story and what on earth that has to do with the quantified self.
Great. Okay, so I'm about to go wakeboarding with some guys from Soloshot.com. They came up with a robotic cameraman that is a tripod-mounted device that you put your camcorder on top. You wear a transponder on your arm. You set that up on the beach or on the side of the lake, whatever, and you go out wakeboarding, and the camera follows you and gets killer footage of wakeboarding or motocross or whatever sport you're going to do. Meanwhile, you have your GoPro on your wrist, on your helmet, on your chest, on your board, all, you know. But you need that distant shot to be able to see your tricks and to, for me, it's like, how do I improve if I can't see myself? And if you've ever tried to look at your own videos from GoPro, like you can't see what trick you're doing. You just sort of know you're spinning around, being all crazy. So
there's an accelerometer or something in this thing, so it understands when you're going upside down and doing all this stuff? Or?
Yeah, so I don't think they have that right now, but let's just theorize that in the future.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard to add one in, right?
Not that hard to add one in.
I hear they're not that expensive anymore.
Yeah,
so.
You can put, this thing has an accelerometer, right? This is my Qualcomm watch.
Right.
But yeah, the notion of adding heart rate, blood pressure, accelerometer, gyro, to be able to recreate, think about this, recreating your trick in 3 dimensions as you spin, and to be able to watch that back on your replay, to be like, well, how many G-forces did I pull in that, you know, inverted double back handle pass spin kind of thing, and then how hard was my landing, how fast did I accelerate out of the turn or something like that. Yeah, all of that stuff is possible. So
this isn't just about kind of showing off, right? This is like actually helps you become a better wakeboarder.
Yeah, you can. We got a bus going by here. This is awesome. So yeah, we've imagine amateur, professional, or aspiring athletes.
That's okay.
Utilizing these devices to, you know, everybody's like, well, how many steps did I take today? It's like, well, I want to be able to measure how hard did I go today? How fast did I go? Did I get more air, faster rotation, more G-forces? But I need that feedback, and I need extreme sport technology on wearable computing to be able to measure that so that I can, you know, get to the Olympics or to the championship or it gives you that competitive advantage.
So any other interesting use cases you're seeing in terms of biofeedback systems and how sort of people are starting to use that to change other things in their lives, or is that like the one that's top of mind for you?
Yeah, that one's the top of mind. I think people, especially athletes, are really looking at what can you measure, right? Blood pressure, heart rate, speed, acceleration, all of these. There's so many dimensions to sport. And in the sports promotion side of things, the ESPNs, the Red Bulls, you know, they all have athletes and stuff like that. Being able to show in real time how fast, how high, how hard the athletes went on the screen during the event helps the general public understand extreme sports better.
Right.
You know, a 1080 is better than a 540. Well, that's because it's numbers, right? But a 7G spin is better than a 3G spin.
Right.
But you don't see that because the athletes aren't wearing accelerometers yet, but that's coming.
Right. What about, now I'm assuming in this situation with the wakeboarding that all that data is yours, so you buy this equipment from the company, they're not hosting that data for you, so you retain control of your own personal data. What about situations where devices are measuring your presence, your activities, your behaviors in various different ways, and perhaps those devices aren't devices that the consumer kind of controls themselves directly? What do you think about both the opportunities and the pitfalls in that market?
Well, so I mean, so a third-party like
system
encroaching on the privacy kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and I don't actually look. Just to be clear, you know, this isn't just a privacy question to me. I think there's no question that if I walk into a retail space with a trusted brand, you know, and it's a brand that I already have a relationship with, and they're able to use technology to recognize me and serve me better, you know, I'm all about that, and I'm totally happy to give them my permission to do that. I do think there's some privacy pitfalls, and I wondered if you had any views on sort of how to navigate those.
Yeah, I think it's more, since this is all very new, education, awareness, helping people understand what it is that you're collecting, what it is that you're doing, where the data is going, because really the fear in privacy is the unknown. If people don't know what data you're doing and where it's going and where it's going to be accessible, is it tied to me? Are you streaming it on YouTube or something like that, like right now?
Yeah.
That's the concern. So being very clear and upfront with that information, and or letting people opt in or opt out.
And without getting into sort of proprietary conversation here, which I know we're not able to do today. Clearly you see in your role, you see customers for this technology and you see them sort of trying to navigate this privacy field. Is there any advice that you would have for people who want to engage with this technology more and don't necessarily yet know how to kind of navigate that? Yeah. I mean, does the education need to be for the public or for brands who are trying to use this technology, or is it both?
Yeah. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of startups, and one of the things that's really important is being early is just as bad as being wrong. So this is a very early space. This is a very early time for what you can do. So when you're early like this, you got to be a little cautious. So the data that you create, although you could share it on social media instantly without asking permission and just, I would urge sort of caution. Let people collect it. Let people figure out what they want to do with it, and let the norms arise as to what's sort of socially acceptable. First, this space is still, it's going to move. It's going to play out, and the answer to that question of like what's okay, you don't have to figure it out yourself and risk being too early, because all boats are rising at this point. So like trying to jump out of the water is hard. Just rise with the tide.
Thank you so much for your time.
Cool. Thank you.